They say power speaks loudly. They're wrong. The most dangerous man in the room isn't the one yelling for attention. It's the one who doesn't need to speak at all. While others seek respect through noise, dominance, and visibility, the powerful man lets silence speak for him. He doesn't announce his strength. He walks in, and everything shifts. You've seen him, that one guy in the meeting who barely talks, but everyone waits for his words. That man at the bar who doesn't posture, but draws every eye. What is that? Confidence? Yes, but deeper. It's control, not just of the room, but of himself. In a world obsessed with attention and emotional reaction, the most intimidating force is the man who doesn't play the game. He doesn't need to. He doesn't react. He doesn't over-explain. He watches, he calculates, and when he finally moves, it's never to impress. It's to win. This isn't arrogance. It's mastery of presence, emotion, and perception. Because in a world full of noise, the man who moves in silence becomes a mystery. And nothing commands more attention than the unknown. Violence is loud. Intelligence is silent. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago, and most men still haven't caught up. This is the silent strategy, and it follows 5 brutal rules. Rule 1. Don't speak to prove strength. Appear strong through silence. The loudest man is usually the weakest. He needs to be seen. He needs to be heard. He needs validation. The powerful man doesn't. He walks in and the room shifts. He doesn't posture. He doesn't announce. He doesn't explain. He simply appears composed, and that's enough. Because silence builds mystery, and mystery builds fear. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge more by the eye than by the hand." Translation, it's not who you are. It's what you appear to be. So appear strong, appear calm, appear in control even when you're not, because people fear what they can't read. And what they fear, they respect. Stillness isn't passivity. It's power in disguise. That man who doesn't flinch under pressure, he commands the room before he even speaks. In a world where everyone's talking, silence is a rare signal. A signal of certainty, a signal of control. And when you combine control with restraint, you create presence. The kind of presence that doesn't demand attention, it attracts it. Rule 2. Let others reveal themselves. You just watch. Everyone else is dying to be understood, so they overexpose, they overshare, they react, and in doing so, they give away their position, their fears, their motivations, their next move. But not you. You observe. You wait. You let them make the first move, because when you speak less, you hear more. You catch the cracks in their confidence. You see the patterns they don't know they're repeating. Machiavelli didn't encourage silence because it was polite. He encouraged it because it was strategic. Every emotional outburst from your opponent is intelligence. Every opinion they blurt out is leverage. Let others hand you the map to their minds. You don't have to attack what they hide. You attack what they reveal. Machiavelli praised the ability to observe and gather intelligence before acting. His advice to rulers was clear. Let others show their hand first, so you can shape your response with maximum impact. The Florentine state often stayed quiet while rival city-states boasted. It outlived many of them. In negotiations, the party that speaks first often concedes more. In interviews, the candidate who listens carefully before answering stands out. In relationships, reacting emotionally gives others the blueprint to manipulate you. The quiet observer avoids this trap and learns everything. Ask questions, then shut up. Let people expose their fears, opinions, and insecurities. Watch their eyes, posture, word choices. Silence is your intel-gathering tool. People rush to fill silence. That's when the real truth leaks. You collect leverage others don't know they've given. They feel heard. They lower their defenses. And you control the flow of information. You hold all the cards while revealing none of yours. Rule 3. Control perception. Win before the fight. Power isn't just what you have. It's what others believe you have. You don't need to be dangerous, you need to appear dangerous, and you do that by being unreadable, still when others flinch, calm when others panic, silent when others scream. Because in the absence of signals, people create their own narratives. They project, they imagine, they wonder what you're thinking. And that wondering creates doubt. You don't need to flex to be feared. The unreadable man holds more power than the predictable one. Machiavelli said, "It is better to be feared than loved." But fear isn't just created through action, it's created through silence. And in a world that's always watching, control what they see, or they'll define it for you. Machiavelli famously stated that appearances matter more than reality. Princes should seem virtuous, even if they're ruthless. He saw how perception shaped alliances, loyalty, and fear more than truth ever could. Branding dominates modern life. Elon Musk's public persona drives markets, not just his products. In relationships, confidence, real or projected, defines attraction. In business, someone who speaks with certainty and calmness is seen as a leader, even without proof. Carefully craft how you present yourself. Never appear uncertain in public. Speak with intentional pauses. Move deliberately. Let mystery do the heavy lifting. Post less. Let people guess your intentions. Be memorable for what you don't say. People prepare for battles that don't exist. They overestimate your power. They hesitate, and in hesitation they lose. Control how you're seen, and you control how you're treated. Rule 4. Never strike without finishing. If you choose to act, finish it, not halfway, not gently, fully. Why? Because a wounded enemy becomes obsessed. They nurse grudges, they scheme, they rebuild. A defeated enemy disappears. Machiavelli wrote, "Injuries should be inflicted all at once. A clean strike ends threats. A weak one invites retaliation. So when the moment comes to act, do it completely. Remove options. Remove pride, remove legacy, and then vanish. No gloating, no explanation, just silence. Because power isn't in the destruction, it's in the finality. Rule 5. Shape the battlefield. Don't just fight position. Most men confront their enemies directly and lose. The wise man changes the terrain. You don't attack his strength. You erode his support. You influence the environment. You isolate him. You cut off his alliances. You redirect the narrative. You reframe the terms until fighting you is no longer a battle. It's a trap. Because once you control the terrain, the outcome is already written. The best generals don't win through force. They win through positioning. Machiavelli knew it. He didn't teach you to beat your opponent. He taught you to make it impossible for them to win. Final words. These are not tactics for loud men. These are not strategies for the emotionally impulsive. They are rules for those who seek power quietly. Those who want to win without being seen. Because in a world of noise, the man who stays silent and strategic controls everything. Control yourself. Control how you're seen. Control the environment. Speak last. Act less. But when you move with precision. Because the man who needs to prove nothing is the man who can take everything. Master silence. Master perception. Master the game.